Good evening, everyone. This is me, Pawan, over here. Good evening, Prachi, Monica, Ayant, Subarna Paul, I hope this was not Subarna, I hope this was Subarna, I hope. Good evening, everyone. Very good evening. So I welcome you all once again in this Titan batch. And today I'm here to start with modern Indian history. And possibly some of you must be knowing me now because I have taken some of your classes. So is there anyone who is knowing me? Hello, everyone. So good evening, everyone. Very good evening. Very good evening. Very good evening to all of you. Very good evening. Okay, let me welcome you first. Namaskar. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. So, hello, everyone. Good evening. So, right. Okay. So today I'm here to start discussion over the modern Indian history. But frankly speaking, today I'm not going to start your modern Indian history, but definitely I will be talking something meaningful in regard to modern Indian history, right? Since we are supposed to discuss about the modern Indian history, but before embarking over the very first topic of modern Indian history, or very first unit of modern Indian history, I would like to aware you, or I would like to give you some insight about UPSC, the types of the question UPSC is asking. What is your syllabus? I will try to decode the syllabus so that we could define our syllabus, define the area of our study in as far as the modern Indian history is concerned. So these are some basic things that I am going to discuss with you people. Today I am not going to start with anything new. If time permit, it depends how long I'm taking to talk or discuss about the very basic things about this, about history or modern Indian history, or you can say the UPSC, right? Definitely there was a question. Ayant Singh, sir, will this batch be sufficient? Definitely we are here to suffice your preparation. There is no doubt at all. You can depend on the classes, and as the class will progress, you will develop confidence by your own self, right? These classes will be sufficient, right? Beyond this class, I will recommend you some basic things that you should taken care of. Otherwise, you must be taken care of, right? So we will do this now. So hi everyone. Right? So I'm going to start with some basic things, right? I'm not going to start anything new at this time. Okay. So, see, what I am going to discuss today is something very basic. That is, first of all, I would like to introduce you with the history, modern Indian history. That is one thing. So within this introduction, I would like to discuss syllabus. I will pick some of your very basic questions that I am looking into your chat box. So whether you should study something else about the books of UPSC, everything I will let you know, right? Anything else you need to study after beyond these classes, I will let you know. So first, listen me carefully. Whatever I'm going to discuss with you people, that is very much important. In fact, these are very vital things before embarking over the topic, right? Before actually starting your preparation, it is very much important to know some basic things, right? So it will keep you defined, it will keep you focused, it will keep you targeted, right? So these are some basic things that you need to know about that. And so just allow me some time to discuss some of the basic things before starting modern Indian history. So very good evening, everyone. So first and foremost thing is that decoding of the syllabus. Actually, when you will look into the syllabus which is prescribed by UPSC for your prelims, either for your prelims or for mains, that is very crisp. That is very little information has been given over there. So it is hardly in 1 or 2 lines the entire syllabus is wind up. I mean, as far as the history is concerned. So it is very much important to decode the syllabus, because we need to define ourselves, because we need to study lots of things. It's not only about the modern Indian history. In fact, within history itself, we have to study ancient Indian history, medieval Indian history, modern Indian history, world history, post-independence India, and of course art and culture. So within history, these are the segments that we need to cover. So it is very much important for us to define ourselves, to what extent we need to study within a particular topic, within a particular subject rather, right? So decoding of the syllabus is very much important. Harshit, I don't think so. Modern history is also related to your your current affairs, and it's not only just because of the current affairs. You need to start with the polity and economy. So it is the part of your syllabus, and you need to cover it first. Okay, and that is very much important. That depends. If you are developing your interest in modern history, that is fine. If you are developing your interest with economy or polity or anything else like science and tech or environment or geography, that is important. Somewhere you have to start. So we are starting with the modern Indian history. Nothing wrong in this. So just try to inculcate or develop your interest in this session, right? So just give me 1 day. Okay, Subarna, thank you. Subarna, thank you. So now I will let you know everything, but allow me some time. Please allow me some of the time. In fact, I'm begging some of the time. Please allow me some time, right? Everything I will discuss, Sunati, everything I will discuss. Let me start first. Okay? Hello, my dear ones. Just start me first. Okay? I will let you know everything. I will, in fact, at the end of the session, I will keep reserve at least 5 to 10 minutes to take or to pick your questions. You don't worry for that. There are some basic questions that I will answer you. You don't worry for that. No, Thansu Kumar. Thank you for your compliment. 1 month, yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So please allow me. I will pick everyone's question. Yes, Dilshad, you can start with. There's nothing wrong into that. There's nothing wrong. I will discuss each and everything, right? So please allow me to move. So decoding of the syllabus, that is very much important, because the syllabus is not well elaborated what is prescribed by the UPSC. So that's why decoding of the syllabus is very much important before we embark for our for discussion in modern Indian history, right? Then, as we all of us know that UPSC conducts its examination in 3 phases: phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Phase 1 is your prelims, phase 2 is mains, and phase 3 is your personality development. Personality test, that is called your PT, right? So as far as the prelims and mains is concerned, modern Indian history is related to both the phases, phase 1 and phase 2. So we need to understand prelims, which type of the question UPSC is putting to you. Then mains analysis is also important. Major takeaways on the basis of PYQs. Major takeaways that I will discuss. What is the major takeaway? And this is very much that was very much important for you people before you start your preparation with the modern Indian history. Then we will look into can I start with the decline of the Mughals or not? We will discuss about that. See. So this is a syllabus. It is a syllabus which is prescribed by UPSC, your Union Public Service Commission. So UPSC has prescribed the syllabus. This is the syllabus, and this is the syllabus for prelims. So you can see here, this is the syllabus for prelims. In prelims, there are 2 papers. One is GS paper 1, that is related to your general studies, and there's a paper 2 that is related to your CSAT, right? CSAT. So my concern will be with the GS paper 1, and within this paper, there is the topic, and there is the syllabus which is prescribed to UPSC in regard to history. So syllabus reads something like this: History of India and Indian National Movement. So this much only is prescribed by UPSC for the syllabus of history in prelims examination. History of India and Indian National Movement. If you look into this history of India, there are only 3 words: history of India. It includes the recording or records of every every time period, that is whether it is related to your ancient history, or your medieval history, or your modern history. So right, so it will become very broad. It is an open-ended syllabus that is called History of India. From where we could start? It is from infinite till infinite, right? So it is still going on. So we need to define ourselves. So history of India, that includes ancient Indian history, your medieval Indian history, and then modern Indian history. But within ancient Indian history, from where we have to start? In medieval Indian history, where we have to start? In modern history, where we have to start, right? So this is a very basic question. So history of India, that is not sufficient to start your preparation with this much of the syllabus only. History of India. And then Indian national movement. This is the only thing that is defined Indian national movement. This is just a part of modern Indian history. It is not the entire modern Indian history. So Indian national movement is just an event of in modern Indian history, right? Indian national movement. It's a broad event, Indian national movement. Within this, there are lots of issues that you will counter when you will be proceeding with the modern Indian history. So history of India and Indian national movement, this much is the syllabus prescribed for history by UPSC for your prelims. So history of India. So this is the syllabus that I was talking about. Now coming to the syllabus of mains. Now look into the syllabus for mains. General Studies paper 1. History is concerned with GS paper 1. Actually, there are the 4 papers in UPSC mains. UPSC mains. There are 4 GS papers. GS paper 1, GS paper 2, GS paper 3, and GS paper 4. GS paper 4. Right? Are you getting me? And besides this, there is a paper of essay also. Right? There is a paper of also what I say that is called your language and literature, and then there is your optional subject. Taken, and there are 2 papers in one optional subject. Right? So in GS paper 1, our concern is with GS paper 1 because GS paper 1 includes history, geography, and society. There are 3 the broad topics: history, geography, and your society. Right? So history includes culture also, right? History, culture, geography, and society. So this is included in GS paper 1. So my concern will be with GS paper 1 as far as mains is concerned. So the syllabus of General Studies paper 1 reads something like this. Paper syllabus for UPSC Civil Service Mains examination consists of the below major areas: Indian heritage and culture, history and geography of the world, and society. This much is the syllabus that is prescribed by the UPSC. Indian heritage and culture, history and geography of the world, and society as well. Right? So this much what the UPSC has prescribed for you people to start with this syllabus. Now coming to modern Indian history. So when we are analyzing this syllabus, Indian heritage and culture, history and geography of the world, and society. So within this history, we need to study about what I say: ancient, medieval. Listen me very carefully, otherwise you will be misguided. Listen me very carefully. Take me very seriously. Please, it's my humble request to all of you. Please take me very seriously. Please try to understand whatever I'm going to discuss with you people. That is very much important, not only important, rather these are very much vital for you. Ancient history, medieval history, modern history, post-independence India, independence, and of course this is your world history. But if you talk to someone who is into this preparation in the journey of UPSC, he will suggest you that in history, as far as the mains is concerned, you need to study about modern history, world history, post-independence India, and art and culture. But if you look into the question paper of 2020, the mains question paper of 2023, you will find questions from ancient Indian history in mains. There are two direct questions that came from ancient Indian history. One was related to Vedic age, and there was another question that was related to the role of geography in shaping history, something like this. So this was the topic in itself that was given in NCERT, right? So it is not related to your art and culture. It is not related to your medieval Indian history. It's not related to your modern history. It is not related to world history. It is not related to post-independence India. So there were three questions in GS paper 1. Last year in 2023, there were three questions asked in GS paper 1 from history. One was ancient Indian history, from ancient Indian history. Second question was from ancient Indian history, and there was a question that was a mixed type of a question that was from medieval Indian history, right? So if anybody is suggesting you that you should not prepare for ancient history or medieval Indian history, you should prepare only modern history or world history or post-independence India, then you are misguided. So whenever you are studying about ancient Indian history or medieval Indian history, you must be very much careful what questions can be, what type of the question you can expect from that particular topic, from that particular area or the unit that can be asked by UPSC, right? And that's why I'm telling you, it is not, GS paper 1 is not only concerned with the modern Indian history, world history, and post-independence and art and culture. Rather, it also includes ancient Indian history and medieval Indian history. Are you getting my points? So because the syllabus says history of the world, and the history of the world includes history of India as well. History of India, and history of India includes ancient Indian history, medieval Indian history, and modern Indian history. Are you getting me? So whenever you are studying what I say ancient Indian history or medieval Indian history, you should also be careful about the expected questions for mains also. Are you getting me? So because doing this, you won't be able to prepare comprehensively. Otherwise, you will be in some kind of what I say, trained of the market. It's not trained of the UPSC. Are you getting me? So history of the world, that is called history of the world, that includes history of India, and history of India also includes ancient Indian history, medieval Indian history, and modern Indian history. So history is important. Then heritage, Indian heritage and culture, that is popularly known as art and culture. So Indian heritage and the culture, then history, that it is ancient history, medieval history, modern history, post-independence India, and world history. And then geography, Indian world of course, and then your Indian society. So this is what is prescribed in GS paper 1. So this is a very brief information given in general studies paper syllabus, is prescribed under GS paper 1. Now within this history, now my concern is for modern Indian history. So with this section, modern history, so now I need to decode the syllabus, syllabus of modern Indian history, modern India history or modern Indian history. Are you getting me? So for that matter and sake, here is modern Indian history. Modern Indian history from about the middle of 18th century until the present. So middle of the 18th century till present, significant events, personalities and issues. Then again it is stressed, emphasized the freedom struggle, its various stages, freedom struggle, various stages of freedom struggle, and important contributions from different parts of the country, Are you getting me? Different parts of the country. Are you getting me? Hey everyone, are you getting my points or not? So modern Indian history from about middle of 18th century. if I talk about the middle of 18th century, it means that it is somewhere AC. So it means that it is somewhere around 1750s. Are you getting me? 1750s till 1947, present day. Because within the syllabus, there is a topic that is, in fact, that's the sequel of modern Indian history, that is called post-independence India. And within post-independence India, we need to cover the area from 1947, that is after independence, till at least till modern dates, till present day, Are you getting my points? Are you getting me? So that is the part of the post-independence India. But if we define the syllabus of modern Indian history, then it begins with 1750 to 1947, because syllabus says that is the middle of 18th century till present times. Present time, that is 1947. Once you get your independence, your syllabus gets ended of the modern history. Are you getting me? After that, as a sequel of modern history, we will be covering in post-independence India. So I will say the first and foremost thing is that the syllabus of modern history begins with 1750 till 1947. This is the one thing. So modern Indian history from about the middle of the 18th century until the present, significant events, personalities and issues. I am coming over this, what I say, that is called events, personalities and issues as well. I will be discussing what do you mean by these events, what are these personalities, what are these issues, how you will identify issues, personalities and events, and then again stages, what are the different stages of freedom movement, then their contribution from every part of the country. So development, what the statement says, its various stages and important contribution from different parts of the country, because what I say, the wave of national movement that was not centered in Bengal, Punjab or Maharashtra itself. Rather, it was a pan-India phenomenon. Of course, initially it was very much regional and it was sporadic, but in later times, later on, all these small rivulets of the national movement merged into a wave, national wave, that is known on the platform of the Indian National Congress. So we need to understand their contribution from every part of the country, from every section of the country, that we will be discussing, right? So just try to understand modern Indian history from about the middle of the 18th century until the present, significant events, personalities, and of course the issues, right? Then the freedom struggle, it's what I say, stages, and the contribution from the different parts of the country, that is across the country, right? So before coming to the next slide, are you getting me? Is there any issue? Again, can you put forward your question? I'm looking to your chat now, because the chat is just lateral to me. This is not in front of me. I'm waiting for your comment again. Anuj Vishwakarma, I'm going to detail it. It's all good. Okay, that's fine then. Okay, so what I was talking about, so modern Indian history from about the middle of the 18th century until the present, so that is 1750s. But to start with, we need some kind of the background. We need to develop a background to start with mid 18th century, to start with middle of the 18th century, right? So just to develop some background to understand the developments during middle of 18th century, we will have to start with 18th century itself. 18th century India. We need to understand 18th century India. And that, in fact, we need to understand from what I say, that is called from after the demise of what I say, the Aurangzeb, that he died in 1707. So after that, modern history begins. But it is not relevant to say that after the demise of someone, a period gets in, that is called medieval Indian history, and then a new period is started, that is called modern Indian history. Actually, there is some kind of a transition. There was a process of decline, there was a process of disintegration that we need to understand. We need to understand that characteristic of the 18th century India. 18th century India, right? So we will discuss in brief the developments in 18th century India. What are those developments, so that we could develop an idea as a background to understand the developments in the mid of 18th century. Are you getting? Our syllabus is prescribed, that is prescribed from middle of 18th century. But to understand the developments of the mid of 18th century, we need to understand the developments before that as well. Is it okay? So now, is it okay? I will discuss everything. Why you people are discussing? Because I'm here to discuss with you people some of the basic things that you people are discussing among yourself. I will pick everyone's question. I just told you guys, just keep patience and just try to understand whatever I'm telling to you. I will let you know everything. Lokesh, Mohan, just allow me some time. Everything will come. Sequentially, everything will come. Even I, Lokesh, Mohan, Misla, I will take your question as well. Okay. So just allow me some time. So modern Indian history. So are you getting me? So as for the time is concerned, middle of 18th century, that is called 1750 till 1947. Okay. Now, Shreya, I will tell you everything. Everything. I will tell you everything. Shan, everything will be covered here. You are in this batch and everything will be covered. It will be, whether it is ancient Indian history, medieval Indian history, modern Indian history, post-independence India, or world history. Every topic, every subject will be covered. You don't worry for that. I may be here for your post-independence. I may not be here for your post-independence. That depends. Okay. But every topic, every subject will be covered here. You don't worry for that. Okay. Now, so modern Indian history, right? So this is your syllabus now. Now, within your syllabus, there are some keywords. There are some keywords, right? The keyword is significant events. What is these events? There are certain personalities. There are certain issues. What are these issues? Then various stages of your freedom movement, and what is the contribution, important or significant contributions of during the freedom movement. Okay. Okay. Now, so this is 750 to 1947, right? So now, see, look here. There are very basic thing, various events. So if I talk about the various events of modern history, you can see lots of events that will have immense impact in the days to come over the history itself. Like event is partition of Bengal. Partition of Bengal was an event that took place in 1905. So this is an event, right? This is an event, and it has broad implications over the society, over the economy as well, culture as well, and of course, to a certain extent, it also influenced or impacted the political structure as well. So partition of Bengal is one such event. Like then Swadeshi movement. It is a sequel of this partition of Bengal, Swadeshi movement. So against, simply you can see as a reaction against the partition of Bengal, that is the emergence of Swadeshi movement, right? Quit India movement. Gandhi started 3 national movements in India. First was your non-cooperation movement. Second national movement was CDM, that is called Civil Disobedience Movement, and the third one was Quit India Movement. So it is also an event. Revolt of 1857, that was also an event. So these are certain examples of important events of modern Indian history. Are you getting me? Now, coming to the personalities. Coming to the personalities. Personality means that there were certain stalwart nationalist leader or national leaders during the national movement, where it was Dadabhai Naoroji. He was also economic nationalist. It was Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Bal Gangadhar Tilak. It was Subhash Chandra Bose. It was Rabindranath Tagore. It was Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. It was Ambedkar. It was Mahatma Gandhi. So there are certain, stalwart leaders, nationalist leaders, that we need to understand about them, right? What was their ideology, etc. So these are the personalities. You need to cover some certain personalities. You need to know about their ideology in regard to different aspects, like about society, economy, political structure, etc. So personalities: Rabindranath Tagore, Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, and Gopal Krishna Gokhale. Is it okay with everyone? Now, so this is the personalities. Now coming to events. Now, so issues, different issues. During national movement, several issues. So please don't repeat words. It is getting a little problematic. Okay, Itika. Okay, I will be careful about this. So different issues, like during the national movement, different issues emerged, like what? Anglican policy. Anglican policy means what? It means that Britishers deliberately introduced English education in India. They introduced Christianity as a new religion to India. They started conversion of the people into Christianity. So these are called Anglican policies. So this is one of the issues in India. So it impacted Indian society. Then one other issue is depeasantization. Depeasantization, when the peasants left their field, agriculture field, farmland. Deindustrialization, famines. During the 19th century, there were the frequent famines just because of the British policy that were taking place. So famine was also one of the events. So these are certain issues, different issues like Anglican policy, Anglicization of India, depeasantization, deindustrialization, and famines, right? Now, so different issues are there. Now, we talk about the next keyword, that is called various stages and contributions. Like what? If we look into the entire thread of the freedom movement, you can easily segment them into different phases. The earliest phases from 1757 to 1857. 1757 is what the syllabus prescribes, mid 18th century. And why this year is significant? Because in 1757, Battle of Plassey, I have not taught you, but I believe some of you must be aware of this battle. Battle of Plassey was fought between the Nawab of Bengal and East India Company. In this battle, East India Company defeated the Nawab of Bengal, who was Sirajuddaulah at that time. And this is one of the decisive battles fought in India, because this battle established in East India Company as a political power in India. Before this battle, East India Company was a commercial entity in India, but after this battle, East India Company became a political power. Are you getting me? So 1757 is quite important. So 1757, when East India Company became a political power, they established their mechanism in their colonial interests. So with this mechanism, exploitation of Indians started. So the reaction also started, and this will continue for next 100 years. And finally, it will collectively culminate into the revolt of 1857. So this is a stretch of 100 years from 1757 to 1857 can be considered as early resistance and its contribution towards national movement, or you can say the freedom movement. Are you getting me? Now, coming to First War of Independence. So 100 years of early resistance and their contribution towards freedom movement. Then the First War of Independence took place, when your resistance was saturated, it percolated into the First War of Independence, that is called Revolt of 1857. Then after 1857, we will see the formation of Congress in later times, but 1858 to 1905. So after first war of independence, that is called revolt of 1857, till the formation of Congress 1885, nationalism started crystallizing and consolidating, and that finally culminated into the formation of Congress. It was not just a political organization, it was just not a political platform, rather Congress was a movement in itself. So formative stage of national movement 1858 to 1905. 1905 is important because with the formation of the Congress, for next 20 years, that is till 1905, this Congress was dominated by moderate policies, programs, and of course the leaders. In fact, this phase is known as the phase of political mendicancy in Indian national movement, during national movement. So this is a formative stage of national movement when we were, we were strengthening our social base. We were trying to associate with the people, with the common people. We were preparing some ideological background to wage a war against the Britishers. So this is called the formative stage of national movement. Then we can come into the next phase, that is the phase of Gandhi. When Gandhi came to India in 1915, he just traveled across the country to understand the political situation and the political condition of that time, and then he came up with his already tasted techniques, methods, tools to wage another war of independence in India. Earlier he had tested all of his tools and mechanism, weapons. That is called the weapon of the tool of that is called non-violence, satyagraha, that is called urge for truth, civil disobedience movement, non-cooperation. So these are certain things these are the certain methods which was implemented by Gandhi during the national movement, was already tested in South Africa. So after coming to India, he had taken at least 4 to 5 years to start the national movement, start the first national movement and first national movement in the form of the non-cooperation movement, that is 6-7 years later on. So this was the Gandhian phase. Gandhi had organized not only the Congress, organized the entire masses under the platform of Congress. And Gandhi was a person who actually made the national movement a mass movement. Because without making a national movement a mass movement, it would not have been possible to have independence with a sustainable base. So Gandhian phase, and it will continue till 1947, that is your year of independence. Are you getting me? So these are the various stages of contributions. So during the early resistance, what was the contribution of North India? What was the contribution of South India? What was the contribution of East India? If there was something significant, then you need to take care of early resistance, because resistance is coming from the different parts of the country, from different corners of the country. So early resistance, that is defined, right? This is one of the phases. This is one of the phases of national movement. Now its contribution may be coming from South India, contribution may be coming from North India, contribution may be coming from East or West India, right? So early resistance and its contribution, now you could understand. Then first war of independence, then you need to understand the different social base of this movement, or this independent, of this revolt. What was the role of peasantry? What was the role of zamindars? What was the role of industrialists? We will look into this, whether they were active into this war of independence or not, whether they were the supporters of the rebellions or rebels, or they were the supporters or collaborators of the Britishers. We need to understand that. So first war of independence, then formative stage of national movement. Different kind of political organizations like landholders society came into the being. So formative stage of national movement, there are different petty political organizations were established, of course for their vested interest, for their regional interest, And ultimately they will culminate into the national movement when the Congress was formed in year 1885. Then this movement got a new direction, new guidance under the leadership of Gandhiji. So, Gandhian phase of independence. I believe it will be okay for you to understand the syllabus, the terms used, the keywords used in your syllabus. What is event, what is issue, what are the events, what are the issues, the personalities involved or engaged in the national movement, the phases of national movement, contribution from the different parts of the country. Now you could easily understand. I've not taught you anything, but you need to understand these basic things. Without having a fair idea about these keywords, we cannot define ourselves. We cannot understand, in fact, the PYQs as well. If I recommend you to look into the PYQ without understanding or comprehending the syllabus, you cannot extract the valuable things that I am intended to provide you. So you need to understand your syllabus very carefully. That is very much required, and it is very vital to understand the syllabus, this preparation, right? Is it okay with everyone? Till here everything is okay? So once you get decoded your syllabus, it will be easy to get through. It will be quite easy to get through. Okay, what is the issue of Supriya? Why you are not getting? And what about the others? Everyone please comment me. So this is a virtual medium. Everything is fine? Okay. I will come to that. Sequentially, I will come, Ritika, Rishita or Rishika. Okay. Okay. Now, coming to the other parts. Now, other than this discussion, I will pick your question at the end. I will pick some of your question at the end. Now, see, just have an analysis of the last 5 years, 5 to 6 years, so that you could understand the weightage of history as a whole. So the analysis of last 6 years of the prelims paper. This is your, what I say, ancient Indian history, medieval Indian history, modern history, art and culture. In year 2019, there were 3 questions from ancient Indian history. From medieval, there was a 5 question. From modern, there was 6 question. And there were 2 questions that was from art and culture. And the total number of the question asked from the entire chunk of history or entire segment of the history was somewhere around 16. Now coming to the subsequent year, that is the year 2020, we will find total 4 questions from ancient, 2 questions from medieval, 9 questions from modern, and 4 questions from art and culture. So it was 19. Total it was 19, right? Then further in subsequent year 2021, again ancient was total 4 questions were from ancient, then medieval 4 questions, then modern 7 questions, and then art and culture 3 questions, and total there were 18 questions. So in 2022, there are 3 questions from ancient, 5 questions from medieval, 3 questions from modern, 6 questions from art and culture, and then this was total 17 questions. Now, in 2023, 5 questions from ancient, 3 questions from medieval, 2 questions from modern, 2 questions from art and culture, and there was total 12 questions. And in 2024, that is this year, recently we had our result in the Prelims 2024. 5 questions were from ancient, 1 question was from medieval, the 2 questions were from modern history, and 1 was from art and culture, and there were total 9 questions. So I can say, in any given year, averagely I'm talking on the basis of the average of the question, you can find somewhere around 15 questions. 15 on an average, you can get 15 questions. It may go up to 19, it may go up to 9 or 10, and so on an average you will get questions somewhere around 13 to 15 questions, and it will be somewhere around around 15 to 20% of the total marks of the prelims. So that's why it is very much significant to develop your command over history. It is not about modern history, it is about the entire history. There are the core subjects, there are 4 core subjects. You can say the pillar subjects in JS: history, geography, polity, and economy. Comparatively, questions from history and polity are quite doable and easy to handle. If the questions are coming of the tough nature, definitely it will be tough for everyone. But once you have developed your good understanding, if you have developed your analytical understanding over each and every topic, then I personally believe, you can comfortably you can solve questions almost not almost every question, but to a great extent you can solve the question. At least 70 to 75% question you can solve from history, and that is a good number of the questions. So history is very much important just because of that, just because of its nature. Some of the times questions are coming straightforward. These days, generally the question, if you have analyzed the paper of prelims the last 2, 3, 4 years, you will find that questions are coming from the very applied nature. It requires your deep understanding into the topic. But in last 2, 3 years, respectively, questions coming in history are of factual nature, more of the factual nature, but it is not fixed. So you need to develop a comprehensive understanding over every segment of the history. These days questions are more of factual nature. I do accept this, but the factual question that is coming in your examination are not of easy nature. But as a teacher, I could understand from where these questions are coming, and it will be my responsibility to cover those areas rather to suggest you to go and read those books. It will be misguiding. It will be my responsibility to give you those facts which can work for you in the prelims exam. Are you getting me? Is there any issue? If you have any, I have not seen your messages, but something. So do I need to purchase separate batch for history optional? GS is something different from optional. So definitely you should go for optional. Optional require more knowledge. Rajbir, I will come to all these questions. These are the basic questions that I will pick. Is it okay with everyone? Everything is fine till here? यहाँ तक सब कुछ ठीक है? Okay. Easy. Okay, is it okay? Now, I will address all the questions, but first try to understand what I'm telling to you. Different, of course, different. Adit, I will let you know about the post-modern history of post-independence India also. Pavan Uchila, I will be covering your what I say art and culture. You don't worry for that. It will start. So now, this is the PYQ of 5 years analysis: ancient, medieval, modern, and this is your art and culture, right? So this is your art and culture. So these are the different colors representing different years, like red is your 2019, yellow is 2020, green is 2021, orange is 2022, blue, I mean the sea blue is what 2023, and the blue is 2024. So in art and culture, you will find in 2024 there is one question that we have already discussed, two questions that is in 2023, then 2022 there is 6 questions. So in the last 5 years, the maximum question from art and culture came in year 2000, what I say 22, right? But the on average you will get 3 to 4 questions every year. Now this is the modern history. The good number of questions came in 2020, that is 9 questions from modern history, and so on with the ancient and medieval. Now coming to the next part. So there are some questions that I want to show you UPSC has asked in recent years. In 2023, there was a question that was in regard to what I say regulating acts. Although these topics can be covered in polity or it can be covered in history as well, right? But most of the time these topics are covered in the polity. So by which one of the following acts was the Governor General of Bengal designated as the Governor General of India? You can you can attend this class, Nisha, you don't worry for that. No, I'm not covering this time. Tushni, I'm not covering post-independence right now because I told you the area of discussion will be from 1750 to 1947. So this is the one question this is a pure fact-based question. It's completely factual question. 1833 is the right answer. But anyways, just forget. My concern is not for the answer, but let you know the type of the questions. Now consider the following statements. Statement 1. 7th August is declared as the National Handloom Day. National Handloom Day, 7th August. It was in 1905 that the Swadeshi movement was launched on the same day. Which one of the following is correct in respect of the above statements? This was a question in 2023. So it is something related to what I say, that is called current affairs also. Several times you must have seen some important dates. Is date ko ye hua, is date ko wo hua. So you have to be aware of all these things. But by your, what I say, that is called your accumulated knowledge or your deep insight into a particular topic, specific topic, you can handle such kind of the question. Even if you are not gone through, you can make a smart guess, you can make a intellect guess. Now, coming to the next question. With reference to Indian history, Alexander Ree, A.H. Longhurst, Robert Sowell, James Burgess and Walter Elliot were associated with. So they were the archaeologists, right? So this was this is related to your current affairs. You must have seen some historical articles coming in newspapers, right? So these are the archaeologists in fact. And in the recent past, this was a question asked in 2023. In the recent past, there are articles came up in different newspapers. So such type of the question you can also expect. So it is not purely history, rather it is history related current affairs. History related current affairs. Are you getting me? So it is also related to your current affairs as well. Now, this is a question that is from 2024, I hope. With reference to the Government of India Act 1935, consider the following statements. So it provided for the establishment of an All India Federation based on the union of the British India, provinces and princely states. Defence and foreign affairs were kept under the control of the federal legislature. No, that was not under the federal legislature, rather it was in the hand of executive. So only one is correct. But I will let you know anyway. With reference to revenue collection by Cornwallis, consider the following statements. So this is the personality. Are you getting me? Cornwallis. Under the Rathwari settlement revenue collection, the peasants were exempted from revenue payment in case of bad harvest or national calamities. Under the permanent settlement in Bengal, if the zamindar failed to pay his revenue to the state on or before the fixed date, he would be removed from his zamindari. That is called sunset clause. I will be covering these things in economic history just because of sunset clause. Sunset clause. So this type of the question you can see in your examination. Now, mains. So it was all about the prelims. Now coming to the mains part. What is the weightage of history in mains? Number of questions coming from modern history. This is from modern history only. It's not about history. Modern history. That excludes art and culture, world history, post-independence. So in year 2023, 2024 का 2024 का मेंस अभी होना बाकी है. So in 2023, there were 2 questions, and the total number of the marks weightage of the question that was asked in modern history was of 25. In 2022, there were 2 questions. Each question were of 10 marks. So total that was 20. In 2023, 3 questions were asked, and the weightage was 40. In 2020, these are 2 questions were asked, and the weightage was of 25. Then 2019, 4 questions, and the weightage was 50. That's a good number of questions you can see. Even a bit later on, in 2013, there were 3 questions from modern history. Total marks was 30. In 2014, again 3 questions, 30 marks. 2015, 2 questions, 25 marks. 2016, 3 questions, 37.5 marks. 2017, 4 questions, 50 marks. 2018, 1 question, 10 marks. So on an average, you will get at least 2 questions in your mains. At least 2 questions you can expect. On an average, you can expect 2 questions from modern Indian history in your mains examination, right? So this is somewhere around what I say that is called the 20%, not 20%. Yes, 20, maximum 10 to 20%. The weightage of modern history is 10 to 20% in GS paper 1. So it may be around somewhere 25 question marks weightage will be of 25 number and maximum to 50. So it will be somewhere around 25 to 50. So it is somewhere around what I say the 10 to 20%. The weightage will be 10 to 20%. Is it okay? Done? So, is it okay? Done. So this is the weightage of what I say modern Indian history in mains. Now, you need to go through mains PYQs, that is called previous year's question paper. Why you should go through PYQs? Why you should go through the PYQs? Because it will give you a better idea about the question asked by UPSC, so you could better tailor your preparation. So it is very much important. It will give you insight. In fact, it will give you direction. It will guide you. It will direct you. It will keep you defined. You will be aware of the recent trends. UPSC is applying or highlighting and what is adopting in its mains examination. So just to understand the nature of the question, just to analyze the trend of the recent years, UPSC has asked the questions, you definitely should go to the PYQs. And some of the times, although rarely, the topics, themes are also repeated. And this is one of the beauties of history. So I will highly recommend you to go through at least 10 years PYQs. It will be better for you if you are covering PYQs from 2023, because the last time UPSC had changed the syllabus in 2013. So from 2013 to 2023 will be better for you. That is 11 years, right? So you should definitely go through the PYQs. Just have a look. Just have a look of the question that has been asked in different years. In 2023, there were two questions. What was the difference between the Mahatma Gandhi and Rabindranath Tagore in their approach towards education and nationalism? This question is related to the personality. And just a few minutes before, I told you, we need to know about the different personalities. I mean, the stalwart personalities of the national movement and their different ideology in regard to society, economy, polity, culture. The question is here towards education and nationalism. So what is the opinion of Gandhi towards nationalism? What is the opinion of Tagore towards nationalism? Definitely there must be some difference in the understanding of nationalism in the minds of Gandhi and Rabindranath Tagore. That's why this question has been asked. Their approach towards education. What was the approach of Gandhi? Was talking about the Nai Talim. I will tell you everything. I'm not going into the discussion. So what was the understanding of Gandhi to educate people? What was his intention to educate people? And how it was different or similar, both the aspects, how it was different or similar to the ideas of Rabindranath Tagore. So this is the question that is related to the personality. Now the question number 2, how did colonial rule affect the tribals in India and what was the tribal response to the colonial operation? So it is related to your issue. Colonial operation. Colonial operation. So before discussing this question, you need to understand what is colonialism, what is colonial power, what is master economy, what is colonial economy, everything. So this is related to something that is related to issue. That is a colonial operation. It is manifested in tribals, among the tribes, in the peasantry, in sepoys, everywhere you can get its well manifestations. So how did colonial rule affect the tribals in India and what was the tribal response to the colonial operation? So colonial operation is issue. So this is personality, this is your issue. Now coming to 2022, why did the armies of the British East India Company, mostly composed of Indian soldiers, win consistently against the more numerous and better equipped armies of the then Indian rulers? Give reasons. At both the places we were having Indians. One was a native army by the Indians or of the Indians. At the same time, there was a British army. It was by the Indians but of the Britishers. So what is the difference between these two types of army? Why Indians defeated? Although they were good in number, they were in great in numbers, and the British army were with the very less people. Still they claimed their victory over Indian soldiers. So there must be some kind of organizational defects. There must be some institutional issues. There must be some issue that is related to the planning, maneuvering, policy, etc. So we need to talk about these things. Why was there a sudden spurt in famines in colonial India since the mid 18th century? Give reasons. Mid-century, why it is important? Because in mid 18th century, East India Company transformed from commercial entity to a political entity, and they established a sponsored mechanism of exploitation of the Indians, whether it is peasantry or the tribals or the sepoys. They exploited every section of the society, with certain exceptions definitely, and that led to some kind of shortage in food grains. That led to frequent famines, recurrent famines in 18th, 19th century. So we need to understand each and everything. Okay, now coming to the next question. Trace the rise and growth of socialism reform. This is an event, again, with special reference to Young Bengal and Brahmo Samaj. So what are you getting from this topic? You need to know about the generalistic nature, feature of socialist movement, and you also need to know some basic information about some significant movement within this broad movement of socialists, that is called Bengal movement and Brahmo Samaj movement. Now, assess the main administrative issues and socio-cultural problems in the integration of Indian princely states. All this question is coming from post-independence India. Now coming to 2020, evaluate the policies of Lord Curzon and their long-term implications on a national movement. Policies of Curzon, although he was a reactionary, but his initiatives, his reforms forced a national movement. Since the 1920s, the national movement acquired various ideological strands and expanded its social base. How the national movement expanded its social base? Through adopting different ideology during the national movement. 2019, Revolt of 1857 was culmination of the recurrent big and small local rebellions that had occurred in the preceding 100 years of the British rule. So 1857 was the culmination of recurrent big and small local rebellions that had occurred in the preceding 100 years of British rule. That is called 1757 to 1857. I told you the system of exploitation was established. People were exploited. They started revolting against the British institution and the Britishers locally for their own interest, but it was simmering over there. And finally, after 100 years, collectively they appeared in the form of Revolt of 1857. Many voices are strengthened and enriched. The nationalist movement during the Gandhian phase. Many voices had strengthened and enriched the nationalist movement during the Gandhian phase. That is again important. We will discuss in detail these things now. So now what is the weightage? Again, in brief, I can say in prelims, from the complete history, you will get 15 to 20 questions in prelims. That includes ancient, medieval, modern, art and culture. So you will get almost 15, on an average 15 to 20 questions, and the average weightage will be of the marks will be 30 to 40 out of 200. So that is a very good marks out of 200. Now 15 to 20%. Now in mains, modern history. In specifically I'm talking here in mains, that's modern history as a whole, complete history. So mains, modern history, around 2 to 3 questions you can expect. An average weightage of this question is of 25 to 40 marks out of 250. Out of 250. Are you getting me? So average weightage of 25 to 40 marks out of 250. Right, done? Is it okay? सुना एसी करो यार, हालत खराब हो जा रही है. ठीक है, चलो. So this is the weightage now. So what is your major takeaway now in mains and prelims? You have seen some of the questions of mains PYQ, and you can develop an idea that the syllabus of history, especially I'm talking in terms of modern history, is quite vast, and the questions are coming from diversity. Varied questions, varied topics are coming up. So you need to develop a comprehensive understanding in modern history or history as a whole. Now specifically I'm talking about now prelims, then again I will come to mains. From prelims, one needs to understand the application and analytical part of the topics thoroughly. Understand the application and analytical part of the topics thoroughly. Wherever you need analysis, wherever you need a detailed discussion to develop a comprehensive understanding over a particular topic, you should do that. You must do that rather. These days, UPSC is asking more application-based MCQs. More application-based MCQs. Remembering of the factual aspects of your content standard book is just not sufficient. However, recently UPSC has asked more factual question in history than analytical. So overall, the nature of the prelims is analytical, application-based. But in the last 2-3 years, a trend emerged that the questions are of factual nature, and these facts are not easy facts. So this is the thing. Now, sometimes UPSC asks question on the same topic more than once. It is advised to go through PYQs for better understanding and preparation. I already told you, sometimes UPSC asks questions on the same topic more than once. So topics are being repeated. So when the questions are being repeated and the questions are coming from in and around the options, the explanations, or the question itself, that will definitely help you out in immense way. So PYQ is very much important. It's just not to solve the PYQ. Rather, you need to develop some kind of understanding over some topics which is related to a specific question. Question may not repeat, but the topics and associated events can be repeated. It may be repeated. And that's why PYQ is very much important as far as history is concerned. Are you getting me? Question may not repeat, but associated information, attached information, the context of the question can reappear in your exam. So sometimes UPSC asks questions on the same topic more than once. It is advised to go through PYQs for better understanding and preparation. Now, major takeaway in mains out of your PYQs. Syllabus is quite vast. Agreed. And the questions are not coming from certain specific topic, rather diverse topic, from the diverse topic. So the diversity of topics highlights the importance of comprehensive understanding of modern history for UPSC mains. Are you getting me? Since the syllabus is vast, topics are coming from the diversity, from the different topics. So you need to develop a comprehensive understanding over modern history. That is what my suggestion is to you people. How to study and prepare for UPSC mains? Now there is something related to your class. Develop a thread of major incidents and developments. So just develop. So just try to understand the things in a thread, in a sequential manner, so that you could understand the context of the later developments. If you are able to understand the condition of 18th century India, definitely you will be able to understand in a better way the 19th century India. Are you getting me? So there should be a thread of major incidents, developments. Then understand the application and analytical part of the topics thoroughly. If I talk about national movement, if I talk about economic nationalism, if I talk about economic policies of the Britishers, if I talk about the education policy of the government, the Britishers, definitely it must be with deep understanding. Deep understanding means what was their idea, how it was contradicting with our interest. Even though they are negative in connotation, but still they had some positive traits, nature, aspects for India. So you should develop or inculcate such kind of idea when we are going through these topics, and it will help you in a big way when you will be actually writing your mains for UPSC. Practice and analyze PYQs. That is the final recommendation from my side. Practice and analyze your previous year's question paper. Is it okay? So everything is okay here till here. Now I would like to ask you, I would invite you to come forward with your questions, relevant questions. चलिए, अब यहाँ तक सारी चीजें ठीक हैं. Everything is okay till here. If you have any doubt, No. Okay. So I picked some of your questions, queries now. Something is related to your reference book. Okay. Then note making. Two valid question that I picked. Note making approach. And the third one is how to sync with the class. How to sync with the class. I hope this will be sufficient. I hope this will be sufficient. Will it be sufficient? Class timings are historiography. Okay. About historiography. Okay. Done. Now, अब now I hope NCERT is the reference material. इधर में आ जाएगा वो fear of history से sir conclusion writing for answer. ये अयंत ये थोड़ी देर की बात है, इस पर बाद में बात करते हैं. We will talk later on this how to write. I will let you know. ठीक है? So now, so let me discuss these things first now. Reference book. As far as the book is concerned, first and foremost thing, classes will be sufficient. Sufficient, number one. To support you, we have UPSC wala notes, wala material, that is good enough. You can go with this UPSC wala material, sufficient, classes will be sufficient. And then to aid, UPSC wala materials are there. And then if you want to study any book, I will suggest you can go by spectrum. Why spectrum? Why not history? NCERT. Spectrum, UPSC वाला, that is sufficient. ठीक है ना, संपूर्ण book, ये UPSC वाला material. Then spectrum. Spectrum, why I'm talking about this spectrum? Spectrum, first foremost thing is that it is the reproduction of this. Just listen me carefully. It is the reproduction of Bipin Chandra's book. It's something like old wine in new bottle. It is something like old wine in new bottle. So a spectrum is a kind of replication of what I said, the Bipin Chandra's book. And old NCERT of class 12, that I am talking about the modern history, was also edited by Bipin Chandra himself. So if you are covering spectrum, definitely you are getting the essence of NCERT old, that is edited by Bipin Chandra's book or Bipin Chandra's book itself. Number one. Number two, why I am preferring a spectrum over NCERT. Either two books you can read. What is the defect of NCERT old is that it is not covering comprehensively governor generals, which is a part of the personality, and the viceroys, which is part of personality, right? Then the policies are policies, different British policies, colonial policies are not comprehensively covered, not comprehensively covered. Again, Bipin Chandra spectrum covers post-independence India. Third or fourth thing is that this book is written something like a novel. Even the size of the book and the volume of the book is something like a novel. So you can read it well. Okay. So it will be okay for you. Okay. So first and foremost thing that classes will be sufficient. Just to aid you, we are providing you UPSC wala material, and even beyond that, if you want to cover something, then you can go by a spectrum. By a spectrum, right? NCERT we will be covering in the class itself, because my approach will be from very basics to mains level. So you need not be bothered about NCERTs. I will be covering some of the portions from old NCERTs. I will be covering some of the portions from new NCERTs. I will be covering some of the books from Placid to Partition. Some of the books I will be covering from, of course, Bipin Chandra also. So that will be that. So that's why I'm telling you the class will be sufficient for you. Just stay in the class. Just give me your 2 hours attention, focused attention. You will definitely develop a very good understanding over modern history. You will develop critical bent of mind. You will develop an analytical approach, and you will definitely tailor your preparation in a very better way. So stay with me. So classes will, and just keep minimum books here. Just keep minimum book. Why you people are with us here? Why you people are on this platform? Because to get the crux of maximum sources. Sources means what? That's called reference books. With a good narrative. If you are getting all these things, your job is done. What you people were doing at your own, now we people are going to provide you. Then why you should be bothered about? But still, I will not recommend you don't read any book, because reading is a good habit. Reading of the book will develop flair of writing in you, and it will help you in writing and comprehending the paper, whether it is prelims or the mains. So I will recommend you that. I talk about Kaushalya, Placid to Partition. You're talking with Shekhar Bandyopadhyay. Okay, I will be covering NCERT in a very crisp way, and just to aid, there is a UPSC wala material. There is no problem at all. It is very filtered book. All the basic informations are over there. Our classes will be sufficient. But if you want to study, you can go by that. If you want to read this book, you can. Right? Now, so don't worry about NCERTs. I will be covering NCERT in the class itself. You don't worry for that. Now, notes making approach. Now see, I will be giving you some unit, right? There will be a unit. For say this is unit 1. This unit will have different subtopics. That is subtopic 1, subtopic 2, subtopic 3, and so on and so forth. So the different subtopics. Suppose you are into unit 1, or say that I'm giving you we are in the first unit for say like 18th century India. 18th century India. Suppose it is a unit developed by me, 18th century India. So in this 18th century unit, you will be getting decline of Mughals, decline and disintegration of the Mughals, then the later Mughals, then the rise of regional states, I'm just picking the very offbeat topic of 18th century India, that is called later Mughals. When I will be discussing later Mughals, I will be making you aware about Aurangzeb, Bahadur Shah first, Jahandar Shah, Farrukh Sher, Muhammad Shah, Rangila, Muhammad Shah, Ahmad Shah, and so on and so forth. Definitely, I will be giving you a deep insight, analytical approach. Generally, we understand, this is our very general understanding. With the death of Aurangzeb, listen me very carefully. With the death of Aurangzeb in 1787, Mughal Empire declined. Mughal Empire declined and disintegrated. आम जनता को यही समझ में आती है कि with the death of Aurangzeb, Mughal Empire declined. But it was not the situation. It was not the scenario. Still till 1750s, यानी कि mid of the 18th century, there was a possibility for re-emergence of Mughals. Because during the time of Muhammad Shah, there were certain favorable historical factors that could help in the re-emergence of Mughals. Like what? Still, the Mughal army was efficient, at least its artillery. Rajputs were still loyal to the Mughals. Maratha threat was limited to Deccan and South India. It was not active in the North India, where Mughals were having their political center. Even Marathas were in the cordial relations in most of the times, in cordial relation with the later Mughals. Mughals were still an all-India power, and it was commanding pan-India respect. So these were certain favorable conditions under which Mughal could have been re-emerged if it had an able, efficient leadership. अगर इसके पास एक विजनरी लीडरशिप होता, एक एबल लीडरशिप होता, एक पॉलिटिकल स्टेट्समैन जैसा कुछ होता, डेफिनेटली इट कुड हैव बीन रीइमर्स्ड, रिवाइव्ड. The prestige of Mughal could have been reinstated, but it could not happen because Muhammad Shah was an incompetent, he was a man who was indulged in luxury and comforts. He was not a visionary person. He was inefficient. So in spite of having all these situations and the favorable condition, Mughals could not re-emerge. So we need to understand, what do you mean by decline? What do you mean by disintegration? Decline means what? Disintegration means what? So I will let you know each and everything, right? So there could be a question in mains. I was talking about later Mughals. Was there any possibility for the re-emergence of Marathas as a Mughals in mid of 15th century? Was the reign of Muhammad Shah was a last opportunity for the Mughals to revive? Comment, discuss. No one will think in these lines unless you will read in between the lines. You won't be able to understand the event. You won't be understand the issues. You won't be able to understand the ideology of different personalities. You won't be able to understand the different phases of the national movement and the contribution. So you need to develop such kind of analytical approach, a comprehensive understanding over a particular topic. Okay. So now, what you will be doing, note making. Suppose I have taken a topic that's called 18th century India. So if I have taken a topic that's 18th century India, whether it is from NCERT or from any other book, or with my understanding in history, you should prepare that topic. What are the dimensions of those topics? Like suppose 18th century India, there are 3 topics, like decline of Mughals, like later Mughals, like rise of regional states. What was the socio-economic and cultural condition of 18th century India? What is the condition of education during 18th century India? So these are the topics, and by doing all these topics, you will be covering a broad topic that is called 18th century India. Suppose I will give you, once I will start on a particular topic or unit, I will let you know what I am going to cover in this unit or cover in this topic, and this is going to help you in building your notes, right? So this is the broad topic. Within this, we are going to cover these topics. Just write down all those points, right? Now you may feel problem. There's no doubt when I will be writing something on the board. Sometimes you won't be able to catch. Sometimes you won't be able to write. Sometimes you won't be able to read. Suppose if there is any slide. Don't worry, because with every class you will be providing daily classroom notes, which is prepared by experts. They will give you a very crisp and concise notes of every particular session, of each and every session rather. Are you getting me? After that, I will be here only, you will be writing with me only, with the structure I will be providing you. Then you will be having the notes, and third thing, you will get all the entire PPTs, all the PPTs with annotation in your additional notes. So even after the class, you can take the help of all these things: recorded videos, daily classroom notes, and the PPT which is provided by me, or something I have written on the board on the blank slides. It will be uploaded to your application. You will be benefited. You will be benefited with all these aids. Is it fine? Is it okay? So note making approach is done now. How you will have to make your notes. Now how to sync with the class, that is related to this topic itself. Is it okay with everyone? Done with the things? Hey everyone, I'm talking to you guys. Everyone just gave me your response. Okay, see, Sneha is asking from which part of your reason. And I will insist you, just develop critical bent of your mind. Just develop analytical approach over each and every topic rather than to accumulate the facts. You will get sufficient facts in the form of these books, notes and everything. Daily question paper, daily prelims paper, etc. You will get a good number of the questions, PYQs and all. Okay? If you're not hitting history, try to get history, Mansi. If you're not getting history, it's my humble suggestion for you. Try to get it. Okay, and tomorrow, for tomorrow only, the timing of the class will be changed. It will be probably from 7:30. Due to certain issues, this class for tomorrow only. For tomorrow only, your class will be rescheduled at 7:30 for tomorrow only. Otherwise, it will be in the same time, 4:30 to 6:30. Harshit, I can't help you in this way. मुझे नहीं पता है कि कितनी classes होंगी. I will be covering tomorrow Dilshad, decline of the Mughals, later Mughals, and we'll try to cover also regional states. At least decline and later Mughals. At least these two topics will be covered tomorrow. No, it's in evening itself. Anushka. 7:30 p.m. in evening itself. 7:30 evening. Tomorrow, 7:30 evening. Okay. I hope, who was asked? Somebody asked about the change of the time. I hope it won't be possible because there is some issue with the bandwidth. Gopika, I can't tell you about this. Management will let you know about this. Okay. Just spend a couple of classes, Muskan, first. Over the time, Gitanjali, it will overcome over the time. Okay. So can I conclude the session right here? Can I conclude the session right here? Okay, so it's time to say bye-bye. See you tomorrow with great enthusiasm and aspirations Same time 4:30, but tomorrow it will be at 7:30. Don't worry, Ashif, it will be done in class only itself. Thank you, Nikita. If you wish, you can read the Decline of Mughals and Later Mughals. Tomorrow I will be covering these two topics. Okay, so it's time to say bye-bye. Take care, everyone. Okay, I'm going to end it now. So see you tomorrow at 7:30. Tomorrow the class will be rescheduled. Okay, bye-bye. Take care. See you tomorrow with the great enthusiasm, spirit, energy, and great motivations. Bye-bye. Take care.